Okay, hi guys, this is a quick update about the new SDK wizards that comes with the Sim Update 5. They are working pretty much well now, and I'm gonna show you how to do a simple scenery. It's not an airport, so we don't have runways, we don't have aprons, taxiway, and so on. It's just a thing where you can place objects, custom objects or default objects in your flight simulator. So I load up a flight in a place where I want to place my object. And what I'm gonna do now is go to the Windows Explorer in a folder where I want my projects to be stored, and I'm gonna create a folder with the name of my scenery. So will be this one, Mammoth Test. Okay, this is the only thing we are gonna do in the Windows Explorer. Okay, so let's go to Tools Project Editor. In the project editor, we are gonna click Project, New Project. Okay, the sim is gonna ask where our project files gonna be stored. So we're gonna navigate that to our newly created folder. Documents is MFS test, Mammoth test. Select folder, and the project name will be Mammoth test. Press enter every time you write on this text boxes. Please press enter and create a new project. My project will be Mammoth test, of course. The creator is me, and the company name is the same as me. And click next. What kind of packages we want to create? Most common one is airport, when you add a runway, when you add an ICAO, or custom. We are not adding an airport, we are not adding a runway, but we are adding a simple object. So please click custom, and package name, anyway, Mammoth test. Okay, if you open and read this, there are the guidelines. They are not mandatory, but it's always a good idea to follow those rules. So yeah, really, scenery, simple scenery don't have rules, as you can see. And I'm gonna leave maybe so Mammoth test. Content type is scenery. So scroll down. What is scenery? Okay. And please next is asking us to create an asset group. An asset group is pretty much a folder containing assets of the same type. Assets are BGRs, are model lifts, are polygons, are pretty much those things. And let's go ahead and look if we have any change in our folder. No, pretty much not changed yet. Okay, we're gonna create our asset, which will be a BGL, and I'm gonna call that Mammoth test scene. This is a really an arbitrary name. This can be whatever you want, really. You can write here whatever you want. You can write scenery, or you can write whatever. I'm gonna call that scene because this will be my where I put my scenery files. So my scenery files is where the placement of the object is. So press enter. BGL. This is a BGL. Okay. Our project is not used, and the material lips is for your materials, and the model lips is for your custom model lips, for custom models. And the sim objects, sim objects are sim objects, which are the moving objects in the flight simulator. The other one are pretty much not used for scenery creation. Okay, let's save this, create. Okay, let's see what is changed. So we have our package name, which is this, Mammoth scenery and Mammoth test. And if we click on the arrow, we have our Mammoth test scene. It's a thing that we have created a few seconds ago. Let's see if something's changed. Okay, as soon as we create the new asset, the sim has created a package source file in our main project folder. In this package sources file, there is another folder called BGLs because we are creating BGLs, and there is another folder called Mammoth test scene. inside Mammoth scene, pretty much nothing by now. Okay, so go back to package sources and go back to the sim, and we are ready to go to create objects. So I'm gonna click on the asset Mammoth scene, click on inspector. Of course, here is described where our file are. So our file are here, package source bgls Mammoth scene. As you can see, package source bgls Mammoth scene should be here. And our output directory will be bgl Mammoth scene. We don't have to touch this. The scene now is working well. So loading editor. We're gonna be in a top-down view. We don't need the material editor, so we can close that. Yeah, if you don't see the inspector window, you can click on view inspector. Okay, and this is the scenery editor. So scenery editor, I'm no package name, no problem. Let's click OK. Will be recognized as soon as we save the scenery. So our scenery is pretty empty. We must add some objects. If you don't see the object tab, you can click on view objects, and our object tab is here. And I'm gonna add, of course, the properties tab, and I'm gonna click on view properties, and the properties window, which should appear pretty much here. I'm gonna dock that here, and the project editor. I like that here. You can, of course, dock Windows. And let's add a cone, simple object. Click, you have to select scenery in this drop-down menu. Here are all the objects in your model list BGLs are loaded into this folder, into this window. You can select among them by writing the name if you know it, and the filter, and you select cone, and all the cones from the various packages are shown. Where FS is written is an Azobo default object. This comes from an Aerosoft package. Let's see all the package we have here. We have a lot of packages. As you can see, a lot of airports. Close everything. So we are here. You can see the Azobo airports. This comes from the various word updates. If you add this object, maybe this object, and a user hasn't installed this word update, which is probably some word update from the USA. This is a Canadian airport. They won't see this object. So the object everyone is seeing is in the FS base. So let's go back, searching our cone. Click on the cone and please add. Go back to the scenery editor. We can't see the cone yet, but if you go back to the scenery editor, look at this little asterisk. If we zoom in, we have finally our object. Okay, you can of course move the object clicking on this little boxes, or clicking on the arrows. If you click on with the middle mouse in the middle, you can access some other features like the sphere, which you can rotate your objects in the various directions. If you press Ctrl Z, you will be back to the original state. You will undo, like in most programs in Windows. If you click again, look, there are no arrows, but other little spheres at the end of the arrows. So this is gonna make you change the size of your object, the zoom of your object. Okay, so we're done. We are added our first object here, and we can of course save our scenery. Look at this, there is nothing here, and I'm gonna leave this folder open in order for you to see what is going on behind this scene. So let's click on save scenery. Okay, a new save dialog that is asking us to save our work. What we're gonna save here, we are gonna save scenery files. Where we gonna save that? Yeah, this is a problem because the the save dialog should take us directly into the package sources. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna save that into the package sources bgls, and I'm gonna save that in my main scene folder. I can give this thing whatever name I want. I'm gonna call Mamu test scene placement. But you can give this every name you want. So let's click save, and behind the scene is created an .xml file. If we open that, we can see there are some code. This is what we have done. We have placed a cone, a scenery object cone, and this coordinates this altitude or this heading, of course, this scale, and this is the library object name of our object. This is a unique identifier of our object in the library folders. Okay, this is the only file that is being created now. In fact, if we go back, BGS, nothing here, BGS, nothing here, package sources, nothing here, Mamu test. Oh, we have some package into these are temporary files, no worry. But no other files are going to be created by now. Let's go back in the sim and let's add another type of asset. I'm gonna add a polygon. Go back on and press add. Go back to the scenery editor, and now your cursor is a little crossing there. Is showing an error, and this error is that we have unfinished our poly. So we have to create at least 3 points for a polygon. And I press Control, click the mouse, drag, click the mouse, drag, click the mouse button, drag, click the left mouse button. Okay, I have 4 points. I can then press enter, and the error is gone. We have our polygon. We can of course move this polygon with the same technique as before, so we can scale it or we can move it in another place. Okay, let's move it over those trees because I don't want those trees. And this is the reason why I've put a polygon here, because with a polygon, if you look, click on the polygon, and if you look in the properties, you can do various things. Most common things are exclude all or vegetation. Exclude all can exclude, or exclude various things, can exclude objects in your scenery. If you put our polygon over some objects, the objects are gonna disappear. Okay, now you can see this one has been reloaded, but this one are not reloaded because we have excluded them. Those are maybe detected buildings or OpenStreetMap buildings, as TIN is photogrammetry. But I want to exclude those trees, and to exclude trees, the exclude all doesn't work. Okay, I move the polygon, and this one come up again. So to exclude trees, I'm going to click on bye exclude all. I'm going to click on vegetation, which is going to add some vegetation. Of course, I'm going to make the vegetation density down to 0. And what I've done is deleting the trees in this area. So we want to save again our scenery because at the moment no other files are in our folder. Okay, and I'm gonna click Save Scenery. Okay, the save is gonna asking us to save some shape files. Where are we gonna save that? We can save them in the Mammoth scene in our BGS. Of course, we can save that here. One thing to note is that once we save, some files will be created and another XML file will be created. Please make sure to give the shapes another name, a different name from your placement scenery file. Okay, so I'm gonna call that Mammoth test. It's not a scene, but those are polygons. Click Save. Has been saved. Go back and we have in our folder our old file, the placement file, which contains our cone, and we have some other files which describes the polygon. Polygons are different files, are in a different format than every other object. In fact, if we add some other objects like let me say a rectangle, and add a rectangle, which is here. A rectangle is an object we can use to or exclude some type of buildings or to do some terraforming. Is this terraforming? Yeah, it is terraforming. Terraforming is change the shape of the terrain. If we click Save Scenery, look, no dialog, no save dialog, because we already have a placement file and our rectangle is now in the placement file. Got it? Last modified now. I'm gonna add the creation date, of course. This was created 6-7 minutes ago. Oh, this video is gonna be pretty long. And this was created 1 minute ago, but last updated now. Now that we have clicked on Save Scenery, we're gonna add some polygons. Oh, my scenery is still in here. We're gonna have some polygons. I don't want, of course, I don't want those trees, those pesky trees. So I'm gonna duplicate my polygon, Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V. Doesn't that work? Yeah, doesn't work for polygons. And works for this? No. Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V doesn't work. But you know what is working? This thing, duplicate. If you press duplicate, it's like Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V with the same properties. You look, vegetation, 0 scale. And if we're gonna click save again, let's see what is happening. Nothing, pretty much nothing. Last modified, ultima modifica is in Italian, is now. Creation date is the first time we have created those files. Okay, so we are satisfied with this wonderful scenery we have created. So we can go back to the project editor and save our project. And click on project, save project. It's not asking us to save in a particular place, but if you go back to our project folder, ta-da! We have some new folder, package definition, and in the main folder of our project, we have our project description. Yeah, which is telling us that our packages definition are inside the packages definition, Mammoth Scenery, Mammoth Test, XML. Package definition, Mammoth Scenery, Mammoth Test, XML is saying us that the asset group BGS are in the Mammoth Test scene. But we don't have to worry about those XML files because finally the wizard is working really well. And to share our newly fantastic created scenery, we can now click on build all. Yeah, of course, build all does nothing because build all builds um, custom models. Okay, we are pretty much ready to build our package to share on flexim.io or to install in the community. So click on your package name and back on the inspector. Here we have another thing to do is to add a thumbnail, which is the image you can see in the marketplace or your content manager or things like that. It has to be a specific size, 412 by 170 pixel. If you can, of course, take a screenshot and edit some your image in image editor like Photoshop or GIMP or whatever you want, or you can pick this thumbnail from the SDK. You can navigate to the main SDK folder in the samples. So pick one, a simple airport, into the package definitions, go to the content info and pick the thumbnail. Okay, we are done. Let's see if something is changing our package definition. No, really pretty much nothing, but the asterisk means that something should be saved. So we can click on project and save. And now we have another folder in our package definition with the content info and the thumbnail. Okay, we are pretty much done with the editing of our scenery. So we can open a console to see if there are errors and clear the console. It's a little too big, so put that aside like this. And click on your packages inspector and click on build package. Clicking on build package will create another folder, like its name is packages. Inside the packages folder, this is the folder you are going to share with your friends in the community in flexim.io, wherever you want. So this is a compiled scenery. Inside of this folder, we can see in the scenery folder the BGS, and those are the file that the Flex Simulator will load. Let's see if the compilation is good. So we have a lot of errors here that are not coming from our scenery. But you can search inside the console. Maybe we can search with package builder. Of course, if you search with package builder, yeah, package builder. Those are all files that are related to our package compilation. And as you can see, the last line, we have 0 skipped. Skip the files are files that are not being compiled. 3 done is files that are being compiled, and those 3 files are our 2 BGRs and the thumbnail, and 0 failed. So this is a good compilation. Look at that, 3 done, 0 failed. If we split the package again, we can do anytime we want. Build the package again, we have 0 done, 0 failed, and 3 skipped because we already have our file on our drive. Okay, and that's all for the scenery creation. Of course, you can close the sim and copy this folder, which is this one, just the main project folder, packages. This folder you can copy back to your community, and once you reload the simulator, you will see your scenery done without having to load the project. Hope this has been a good one for you. And if you have questions, put your question in the comments below. Say you bye.